I started this YouTube channel. And what I realized today is that I've been lying to all of you and to myself. Now, I didn't really know I was lying at the time, but when I look back at what I've been doing the last week, what I see is very little truth.
Team, what I mean by this is I've been setting the same trap for you that I fell into my entire life until about 2 days ago, that the answer is in a book. You got to read the next book. Now, reading books, yes, great, but not with the intention of getting something that you don't already have. You are the answer. So you come from that place. That's the big distinction that I haven't been making with you, and I will going forward. All right, on with the video.
So today, I'm going to share with you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The truth is that we are all the same, except for the ways in which we're different. I'm going to take this from the universal and then make it personal. We'll take it from the universal to the personal. On a universal level, what do we know about evolution? What does evolution teach us? I've read The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins and The Blind Watchmaker. I know a little bit about evolution, but you don't even need to know a lot. A cursory knowledge of evolution lets you know that all life on the planet came from one single-celled organism. You go back far enough, you have a common ancestor with a wasp. I have a common ancestor with this plant. If you go back far enough, it's hard to conceptualize that, but that's the truth. Go back enough billions of years, there were no humans, there were no plants. There were just single, then multi-celled, and so on and so forth. Okay, what do we know about the universe? Best as we know right now, the universe started with the Big Bang. The Big Bang started with the singularity. There was a point smaller than the head of a pin that the whole universe that we know now, that's expanding infinitely and increasingly, and all the energy in the universe came from that point. So all the energy in the universe can be traced back to the Big Bang. Think of it like this. Let's say we start with this little coaster here. This little marble coaster, it's got its own unique design. Let's say this is the only one of these in the world, in the universe. It's the only one. It starts with this. It starts with the singularity. It starts with the single-celled organism. This is the only one. Now, let's say this splits into two. Okay, now we got another one. Now, this one and this one, they're a bit different, right? But what do we know about them? We know they came from the same place. We know they're the same, except for the ways in which they're different. So now, what happens when this one and this one split off into two more different ones? But what do we know about these? We know these are the same as the very first one, except for the ways in which they're different. Same with these two. You're like, how many of these coasters do you have, Trevor? I had 7 of them. So you get the point, right? All 7 of these coasters are the same, except for the ways in which they're different. Ram Dass says, when you see a tree and it looks the way it does, you understand that the reason it looks the way it does has everything to do with the conditions in which it grew up. The wind, the rain, the things around it, whatever, other trees near it, all these influences, and you just look at it and it's just beautiful. I love trees, as evidenced by, the point is, all these trees are the same except for the ways in which they're different. We know that, we accept that. What about humans? We're all the same except for the ways in which we're different. So when David Goggins tells you that you can be your version of him, you can be the one, you can do whatever you want. You can't be David Goggins, only David Goggins can be David Goggins, but David Goggins will tell you anyone can do what he does. And if you listen closely to him, David Goggins will tell you that he's done inner child healing. he has taken himself to therapy. I don't know if he's talked about it or if he's talked about going to actual therapy. I don't know. But if you listen, he's done a lot of inner work. A lot. He talked about getting authentic about his inauthenticity. You can read his book or listen to his story or whatever. But before you do, I need to tell you that his story is true. And I need to tell you that you and David Goggins are the same, except for the ways in which you're different. Me and David Goggins are the same, except for the ways in which we're different. People don't believe it when David Goggins tells them they can do whatever, because they don't believe in themselves. My coach has been telling me for a year that he believes in me, that I'm powerful, that I'm this, that I'm that. I used to think he was lying. I used to think he was just saying that because I paid him. Of course you say that, you're my coach. What else are you gonna say? I thought he was lying because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't fully love myself. I know a little bit about loving myself because I had this sort of epiphany moment about how self-love is like the most important thing in the world. And from that epiphany, I took action. I got this book, Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It by Kamal Ravikant.
Team, there is a lot more to come on this. Tune in tomorrow to hear all about this book, who Kamal is, and so much more. See you tomorrow.